this theory, and I don't talk about it a lot because I actually don't know why I don't really talk about it a lot. I guess because people think it's kind of out there. It is. It's pretty out there, but it's coming from someone who has had dementia systems. Because if you don't know, I spent my 30s with like no blood in my body, and I was going through dementia cycles like fucking crazy. I talk a lot about the things that were constantly going through my mind. One of them was I was hallucinating ants everywhere, like on me, on my clothes, and like I was still cognizant enough to ask like the other people in the room, like, hey, do you see a line of ants crawling down my pajamas? And they'd be like, nope. And I'd be like, cool. I mean, during this time, I actually thought that one of my friends gave me this $400 phone that she had just bought. Meanwhile, the day before, I had been at Best Buy, and I paid for it, $400 myself. And I thought my friend gave me her new phone. I'm talking, like, really delusion level dementia stuff here. It took me forever to get back in my mind with like, okay, why was I thinking all of these things that weren't happening? Oh, right, no blood going to your brain. That's kind of important. One of the things I had a really big problem with during this time, though, was I would see TV shows. And I mean, during this era, I only watched like the same 10 shows over and over because I did not have the mental capacity to pay attention to anything new, you know? But I would literally have periods where I was just thinking like that was really happening. And so it made me think. A lot of the things that Trump started saying during the campaign, it sounded like he was watching the Purge movies. I know because I was watching the Purge movies because they were on one of the streaming services at that time and they hadn't been before and I'd never seen them. So I was like, hey, entertain me. I have a lot of blood in my body right now. My hemoglobin is actually 15.2, so I am well and good and not hallucinating. I know these movies are fiction. So yeah, but he was talking about like this lawlessness and these riots on the streets and everything, and I was like, it sounds like he's talking about a Purge movie. And then it clicked one day that I think he was watching some Purge movies, and I think somebody was telling him they were a documentary. I don't know who it was specifically, so I'm just going to assign blame to Stephen Miller here because I don't like him, and I think he's a good person for this job. You know, since he likes to do everybody else's jobs. I can picture it now. Like, he was in the corner of the room, and Trump was over there watching the Purge movies, and he was just completely rapt to attention in his television like a child watching cartoons on Saturday morning. And then he was like, oh, yeah, those are that's what's happening. And, you know, all of those liberal sanctuary cities right now. And then when he was talking about Mattel, and he was speaking about it as if it were a country, and Barbie, the Barbie movie, you know, Barbie Land, and Mattel was like this whole big thing, and like, and then he was referring to him, and I think he might have been thinking of Will Ferrell. Like, really, I think he was thinking of Will Ferrell. And right now, they're actually, you know, maybe they're showing him actual documentaries of, like, Ferguson, because we have those on Hulu. I watched a few myself. Pretty in-depth, and if you were to turn the volume off and, you know, just keep his attention kind of on something else, a little bit distracted, you could convince him that that's LA right now. I'm 100% sure of it. It wouldn't take much. Remember, this is coming from a person who has suffered dementia and delusions and like all of those bads. But I think he thinks the things he's seeing on TV, the movies, the TV shows, the whatnots, I think they're telling him those are real. I think they're telling him those are real.